Hello, and welcome to the adZU demonstration recording. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about adZU. In this demonstration, we're going to walk through some of the main features of the adZU local marketing edition and show what the experience is like for end users of the application. The level of this demonstration it's pitched at a mid-level. So it gives a fairly detailed overview of all the features of adZU without going down to the technical level. So it's designed for people who are interested in really getting under the skin of all the power of the application, but not necessarily interested in the architectural approach of how the application is built. The structure of the demo will be we're going to walk through a series of user stories covering the main user experiences of the platform, starting with the simple basic elements of the platform and going into more complex and powerful features as we go through the demonstration. So the first, the first area that we're going to jump into is the homepage of the application and demonstrate how our clients use this to deliver engagement within their marketing ecosystem, to build brand compliance, to make the experience personalized to the user and to enable users to easily find information about their marketing organization. So we'll start off with a demonstration of Citron. We're logged in as if we were a dealer user of Citron. We can find news about Citron marketing activity, learning information. We can have quick links to other materials. We've now moved over into Nissan France, and you can see that here the client has included information on their new advertising campaign. Users can see a video of the latest campaign. They can find out about new promotional materials which are available. They can find out about the most popular ads which are used within the platform. Here within Infinity, we can demonstrate how the platform can be personalized to the user experience. So in this instance, we're switching from English to German, and by a simple change of user preference, the entire platform is translated from one language to another. Any content within the platform can be targeted to the individual. So that could be based on their language, it could be based on their job role, it could be based on information such as their sales profile or history, but the idea is to make the experience unique to each user and give them exactly the information that they're looking for. Here we're looking at Mercedes UK system and the experience of a user looking for marketing materials which are available in the platform. And again, these can be targeted to individual user profiles. In the next section of the demonstration, we're going to look at how users can locate marketing content within adZU. So one of the prime use cases of the system is for a central brand owner to load marketing materials into the system and enable their local users, whether they're retailers or markets, to find that content, and then in later stages to go on and version that content to create their own marketing campaigns. So in this area, we look at how users can discover content and how we manage security to make sure people only see content to which they have permission to access. So again, we'll start off with Citron as our demo account. The user clicks into Gallery, and then the system displays all the marketing materials to which they have access. They can mouse over to see more information about the marketing materials. And on the right-hand side, we've got filters, so they can filter by media type or by product to locate exactly the content that they're looking for. Or they can look for materials which they've previously liked and are saved as their favorites. There are other areas where content is stored within the system. So, for example, there's an asset management area which is used to store vehicle images, and the user has a free text search option where they can type in a search term and the system automatically filters to find their result. Moving to Infinity now, the asset management functionality has been extended. There's a different menu structure, so now materials or assets are stored by model type. The user can filter by this, find the material that they're looking for, and then decide whether they want to download a high-res or a low-res version of that material. If they choose multiple materials, it's added to their shopping cart, and here we can see the materials that the user has put into the cart, and then they can choose to share that material with another party. So they can enter a contact name, a contact email address, and a message to that person. And then when they click send, the system will send a link to the assets to the person. This is a one-time link. Once it's been clicked on once, it then expires, so it can't be shared with other people. We now move to look at how adZU can be used to facilitate the local marketing efforts of users. So users not able just to find advertising content within the system and download it, they're also able to build their own campaigns online on the system by personalizing their campaigns with the messages, the images, the offers that they want to use, and they're able to do that across many media types, produce a production-ready file, and then supply that production file to the media endpoint of their choice. So again, starting with Citron, we build on what we did before. We go into the gallery, we select the materials that we like, and then we can choose one of those materials for customization. This is a press ad, and on the right-hand side of the screen, on the left-hand side of the screen, excuse me, you can see the elements of this ad which have been made variable. And in this ad, many of the elements have been made variable. So the background image, the headline, which the user can type their own headline in, or in other setups, they could choose from a selection of pre-approved headlines. They can enter sub headlines, and as they make their choices, on the left-hand side, you can see a spinning wheel, which denotes that the application is building their new version, and the page refreshes with the ad edited to their selections. When they move into selecting the model and offer, we can see here that the system stores the product database of Citron products. So we can choose a particular model and the trim, and the system automatically chooses images which relate to that product, as well as knowing which offers are available for use on this product. So the user can choose a particular offer and then can populate it with the individual finance deal that they want to include within their ad, and then click select, and then that product and that offer will be built into the ad. Finally, they choose the dealership that they want to represent and they want to appear within the ad, and then that information will be populated into the bottom of the ad. So now we can see we've got a blue car with a $299 offer for Abbey Citroen, which is the dealership that we chose. The user can preview the ad, make sure they're happy with it, and then choose to send it to, in this case, a newspaper. So the system has a database of newspapers, and we know the production dates and the production sizes for that newspaper. So here the system's built a PDF of the ad to the correct size for the Hearts advertiser. However, if the user wanted to build the ad at a different size, they can manually enter a different height and width and size, and the system will automatically rebuild the ad and resize it to the size specified by the user, making sure that the brand guidelines are respected at all time, as well as including the correct legal copy for the ad. Once the user is happy with their preview, they can click submit, and then that ad is ready to be sent directly to the newspaper that they selected. The next stage of the demonstration is going to look at how adZU has been evolved to allow local marketers to use digital media to communicate with their audiences. So particularly for our automotive clients, their customers are performing their purchase research online and not so much in traditional media. So the retailers need to be able to deliver a retail-focused message with the product that the customer is interested in, and the offer and the location, and need to be able to deliver that locally to people who are in market for the product they're advertising. So this next stage of demonstration will show how adZU can support geo-targeted digital display advertising and build that in multiple formats whilst targeting customers who are in market for a car. Here we're going to use the Mercedes system as the example. We're going to filter on the right-hand side to just show online banners as our media type, and then as before, we're going to click create. We're going to choose a couple of dealerships to build adverts on behalf of, and then we're going to select the media package that we want to buy for our local display advertising. This has been simplified down to bronze, silver, and gold to make it easy for the retailers. Once they've made that selection, the system loads with the display builder, which allows the user to build many formats of advertising at the same time. So similar to before, the choices that they've got available are shown on the left-hand side. They click the option, and here they can choose between using a red car or a blue car for the Mercedes A-Class. But because we're building several formats of display advertising at the same time, they can choose to, for example, put red cars in certain formats and blue cars in other formats. And this shows the power of adZU in being able to create multiple variants of an ad. So a user could test what's the most effective image or what's the most effective message at getting users to click and to drive to their site. As you'll see, each time the user makes a choice and chooses the blue car, the system automatically refreshes and builds a new version of the ad, which is populated with a selection that they've made. On the right-hand side of the screen, the user is able to see all the formats that they're creating and preview those and switch between previews. The user can edit text. They're able to add links to the page. So they're really able to kind of personalize the ad with as much detail as they want. If you'll notice, one of the selections that they've got automatically drops in the name of the retailer. So the system knows which retailers we're building ads on behalf of and produces an ad which says this is the ad, this is the offer which is relevant to Guernsey or to Jersey in this case. So once the user has finished populating all the content, the system shows green ticks to demonstrate that everything's been created. They can swap between the two individual dealers that they're building on behalf of to check the ad and make sure that they're happy with all the content of it. And then finally, they can move to a review page, which shows them all the different ads that they've built. So in this instance, we've built 4 ad formats for 2 retailers. So we built 8 separate digital display ads, which we've been able to complete in just over a minute. So it's very quick for the retailer to be able to create their campaigns, and these are now ready to be trafficked to the media. In this instance, the display banners, or we've integrated adZU with Google Display Network, and what this allows us to do is connect the assets and the templates, the audience profiles within Google Display Network. And also we've connected the retailer to an audience profile within GDN. What that means is that these ads will only be shown to people who are actively in market for a Mercedes A-Class or for a hatchback car, and will only be shown to people who are browsing within the catchment area of the retailer. And of course, the retailer only plays when somebody clicks on one of those ads. So it's a very highly targeted media type and a very effective media type for car retailers, because it's only shown to people who are interested in the product, who are local, and the retailer only pays when somebody clicks on one of their ads. Building on the theme from the previous demonstration, this part of the demo is going to show how adZU has been integrated with Facebook and the Facebook Ads API to be able to deliver targeted and geographically targeted advertising to customers on Facebook who match the profile of our buyers. And we'll demonstrate how we use CRM data and integrate that through Facebook's audience feature to improve the targeting of our advertising. Again, we use Mercedes as our demo client, and the beginning of the process is similar to all the previous demos. Is we can filter down and select Facebook as our media type. The system shows us the templates which are available, and then the user can click create to start building a Facebook ad. Again, the user chooses the dealers which he or she wants to advertise on behalf of, and chooses the media package or the investments that they want to spend on this particular campaign, which again we've simplified down to bronze, silver or gold to make it easy for the users. Once they've made that selection, they can then start the process of customizing their Facebook ad. So the right-hand side shows a preview of a Facebook ad. In this instance, it's a right-hand side ad. The system will support all of Facebook's inventory types. And the user can click on areas to build their ad, choosing from pre-approved copy and assets. and then they can choose the click-through destination for where these ads are going to go to. And if they wanted to, they could build an ad for each retailer. On this screen, they have the option to apply a custom audience. And what that means is when they click that button, the system will make a call to the Mercedes CRM platform and extract the profiles of current Mercedes A-Class owners and pass that data securely to Facebook. Facebook will then do a matching to identify those customers as Facebook users, and then we'll use lookalike profiling to find people who match the profile of current buyers, which significantly improves the targeting of the advertising. In the back end of the system, we're able to match a product's profile to a Facebook audience profile. So we're able to use all the targeting options that Facebook offer in terms of demographic profiling or the likes of Facebook users, and use that to target our advertising, and then to continue to refine our advertising by identifying which audiences are responding best to the campaigns. Next up is email, and in this section we'll show how adZU can be used by local marketeers to manage their own email campaigns. adZU supports two methods of email marketing, one where the customer data or the prospect data is held separately from the system by local retailers. Additionally, adZU has the capability to be integrated with a client's CRM platform, so we can automatically pull prospect profiles from existing CRM systems. So we'll start with the experience for Citroen. Similar to before, we go to My Likes, and in this instance, instead of choosing a press ad, we choose an email material. And you can start to see now the experience is similar for most of the media types. First of all, we select what we want in the first area of the email, the first offer area, and again we choose the product we want to promote in a particular variant. The system shows us approved assets, and then the user can select, in this instance, an offer to support the message that they want to run. So they enter a price offer, and then the system refreshes and populates the email with the content that they've selected. In this email template, there are two areas for offers, so the user repeats the process again, chooses a second product, and enters a second offer. And you can see that here that the form dynamically changes to present the fields for the offer that they've chosen. And once they've completed entering the information, again, the system will refresh to populate the email template with their selections. Finally, the user chooses a dealer, which this email will be sent on behalf of, and the system will populate with that user's address details. The user can test the email, so they can send themselves a copy of the email to make sure it's presented how they want it to be, and then they can go through the process of trafficking the email. They can enter a subject line, a send date. They can add some comments to the transaction, so they can review that in the future, and then they can add the data or the prospect data that they want this email to be sent to. So there's various methods of doing this. They can bulk upload a data file, they can manually enter data, or they can send it to a previous segment which they've already used. If they manually upload the data, the system gives them a template to use for entering that information. And then once they've completed that process, they click to confirm that they approve the campaign to be sent, click send, and then adZU will automatically send that campaign on their behalf. And once the campaign has been sent, they will be able to track the performance of their campaign, accessing reports which will show the number of people who it's sent to, the number of opens, the number of clicks, and the number of bounces or opt-outs that they've received from the campaign. The next demonstration is going to show how we can use adZU and integrate it with a central CRM database in order to provide local email marketing services for a retail network. And in this instance, we're going to use Domino's as our case study. So this is the home page that Domino's retailers see. It's laid out slightly differently than for other clients. This shows them the performance of the transactions that are running. So we can see all the campaigns that are running. We can see how many people have been sent to, how many people have clicked on them, how many people have viewed them, and so on. To create a new campaign, the user clicks on Create Ad Hoc Activity. They give it a name, and then they select the Domino's stores that they want to produce the campaign on behalf of. There are over 900 stores participating in this program, so they can filter them down if they want to. When they choose next, one of the key differences is that we now pull the audience profiles of the customers for these stores, and the user can come in and edit that audience, and they have many selections which they can make. So in this instance, they made a series of selections, and we can see that there are 36 email prospects and 22 SMS prospects for these particular stores. We can further refine our targeting, for example, choosing the lifestyle at the stage of the customer and update the numbers, and we can see that now we've got 31 email prospects. Or we could choose, for example, the days that people like to order, so choose people who order on a Thursday and a Friday, and the numbers go up, and so on. And so this allows the retailer to build very highly targeted profiles of the customers they want to target, targeting by postcode, preferred spend, the promotions they'd like to respond to, and so on. And those are the people who are going to receive this campaign. They can choose whether to target them via email or SMS, and then move to the process of building their marketing campaign. So this is similar to the builder experiences for other clients, but here the material has really two basic elements. They can choose a title for the email, and there's a series of assets they can choose from, some deal profiles or event profiles. They can choose a title, and this will automatically update in the builder preview. And then they can choose which deals to include within the email. And there are literally tens of thousands of different offers which they can choose from. So they can say, I'm going to do a percentage discount deal. They can choose a percentage value. The system will automatically manage the legal copy and the disclaimer copy, and so they're ready to traffic that campaign. Once they're happy with the email, they can switch to populating an SMS, so they can choose the offer they want to go in the SMS, and the system will populate the short message to go in the SMS, and then they can preview the campaign, so the email view of the campaign, looking at it as a mobile view or a desktop view, and then preview how the SMS will appear to their customers. And then finally, they can schedule when they want this campaign to run. So do they want it to run as a one-off campaign or as a recurring campaign? And they can choose which day of the week and which time of day they want the campaign to be sent to their prospects. When it is sent at this time, adZU will automatically make a call to the client's CRM database and pull the prospects who fit the profile, the audience profile that we set up at the first part of the demonstration. So this campaign will only be sent to the people who are currently on the database who fit the profile of the day they like to order, and what they like to order and the minimum spend and so on. The system will also manage the suppression. So if that person received an email from a different campaign within the previous 48 hours, then they will be suppressed from this campaign. So far in the demonstration, we've been looking at how users can use adZU to find marketing materials and then to customize those marketing materials with their own messages and offers and headlines and so on, and then produce those as marketing campaigns which can be sent out to media. The next part of the demonstration is going to focus more on how we use the data that is created from this campaign execution to improve the process of planning marketing and then optimizing that marketing. adZU produces a lot of marketing materials for our clients, and each of those marketing campaigns is turned into data by the system. So we know where people are advertising, what the content of that advertising is, what media channels they're using, what they're spending on that advertising, and for digital media, we know the response, how many people responded to that advertising. So we've been able to take this information and report it back to our customers, and also allow them to use that to create better, more effective marketing plans, having visibility of what people or what their users are planning to execute in advance, and then providing them guidance to improve the effectiveness of their campaigns. So we're going to start off by looking at a simple version of marketing planning using Citron again. So the user clicks on the marketing planner. They go into the planner view, and then this shows them their marketing plan in two sections. So the top section is the national marketing plan. So this is activity which is being created by the brand, and this is used to give a local marketer an idea of what's being supported, so they can help participate in that campaign. So here they can get a preview of a TV campaign which Citroën are running, and so they know they can run activity support this. And this shows all the brand's marketing activity across the different channels. And here they can see that the brand is running a retail campaign. They can click in, they can view that campaign and see the brand creative. But the system then also recommends templates to the user which they can use to support this activity. The user can then click create, and then they go through the process of building their own version of that national campaign using the ad building functionality which you've already seen. So they choose the model, they can choose the particular product derivative in terms of trim and engine. The system chooses the best asset for them, and then they're able to populate their ad with their own offer that they wish to run on this particular product. So they can enter the pricing information and the offer term and so on. So on this basis, the user's been able to see what's being run by the brand, get recommendations of what they should use to support that activity, and then build their own version of that campaign, and then traffic that out to media, all within a couple of minutes. In this demonstration, we're going to drill into some of the features of the marketing planner in a little bit more detail, here using the Jaguar Land Rover example. So similar to Citroën, we can see at the top of the screen, we've got the central marketing team's plan. But in this instance, we've got a global plan and a market plan. And then lower down, we've got the marketing plan for the individual retailer. Here, as you can see on the screen, as we mouse over individual elements, we can see the activity that the retailer is running within their campaign. The user can click in and they can add planned activities to their marketing plan. And on the right-hand side, they can expand the filter panel, which allows them to create specific views of their marketing plan. So, for example, if they only want to see activities which relate to a particular product, in this instance an F-type, they can click and filter that, and only F-type campaigns will be shown in the marketing plan. They can also use free text search, so if they're looking for activity which has got a label 61 against it, they can type that in, and the system filters to only represent or only show those activities within the view. There's lots of ways of filtering: by sales type, so new and used, by media type, by the status of the material, because this will show planned activity and also activity which is in the process of being implemented or which has been sent. So the user is able to get a very specific view of their marketing plan. The plan shows all media types, and we can contract and we can expand the view to show more information. When we mouse over an email campaign, we see not only a preview of the creative that ran, but also we can see a snapshot report of the performance of that campaign, showing how many have been sent, how many were clicked on, how many bounces they got. So within this view, users are also able to get a snapshot of performance. On the left-hand side, we have financial information. So this shows by category or by media type what the planned spend is for that media type, and also what the actual spend is. So within a user's plan, they may have planned to spend a certain amount of money, but have only executed less of that, or more of that, and we can see the difference between those values. The different views, we can view by month, we can view by quarter, to give the user flexibility to see exactly the information that they're looking for. So adZU is a very extensive system. It supports marketing activities in a number of ways, and included within that is the fact that we support very many media types. What we try to do is simplify the process for end users. So irrespective of the media type that they're using, it's a simple process, and the same process for building their customizations. So in this next section, we'll run through very quickly an overview of the different media types that the system supports and what the experience is for the users. So moving to Nissan Spain, we'll now make a selection and we can choose out of home, so outdoor advertising. The user can click create, see the templates, click create, and then the process of building their outdoor ad is very similar to the process that we've seen for building a press campaign or for building an email, which they're able to personalize it, and the system will build their customization. Outdoor uses the same Adobe InDesign backbone that we use for press and we use for direct mail. This is view of radio advertising. So here the user can see thumbnails for the radio ads. They can choose one. They can select a radio station that they want this ad to run on. They can enter the contact details for that radio station, and then when they click play, the system will build a customized preview of that ad. So what the system has done is taken the body of the ad, which is 20 seconds long, and automatically added the retailer's tag or address details to that and edited it together online within a few seconds. This next view now is looking at a multi-page material. So this is a direct material being used as an invitation for an event. We've now moved to Nissan France for this one. And again, this shows that the experience is pretty similar. The user clicks to make their edits. The difference being that they can switch or navigate between the pages where they need to make their edits. So you can see on page 1, there were 2 elements which needed to be edited. On page 2 of this material, there are 5 elements which need to be edited, and the user can step through each one. The end of that process is very similar as for press advertising, where the system will build a PDF preview, which can then be trafficked to printers. In this next section, building on that theme of printers, we're going to show how adZU can be used as an ordering platform for ordering printed materials and other merchandise and consumables through the system. So allowing users to browse for the elements that they want to buy, see the costs, lead times, place their order, and then traffic that request through to the third party who's providing that service. Here we've moved to Telstra, so for the Australian mobile phone brand or communications brand. And here we're looking at the point of sale packages which are available to retailers. So the retailer can preview what's available, they can see the price of those materials, they can enter a quantity for it, and then they can see the lead time of how long it's going to take for that POS to be delivered to them. And when they make that selection, it's added to their basket on the right-hand side, and they're able to place that order. Similarly, with stationery materials, they're able to see preview what's available, select it, enter a print quantity that they want to order, confirm their delivery details. And in this instance, we have an online auction between different printers who have pre-submitted bids for this work, so the retailer can choose the most cost-effective price for their print order. And once they're happy with that and they tick to confirm, the system automatically generates a transaction and submits that order request to the selected printer for them to fulfill. The next section of the demo is going to take an extended look at some of the reporting functionality that's available within adZU. As I mentioned previously, adZU stores and generates an awful lot of data on the marketing activity of our clients. So we have information of who's executing what type of activity, what they're spending, the media that they're using for it, the content and the templates that they're using. And it's our aim to provide this information back to our clients in as clear and transparent a way as possible to help them to make better decisions about their marketing. The reporting functionality and the data visualization functionality within adZU is contained within the Minerva area of the application. So Minerva is the reporting engine of adZU, and it allows us to report not only on data which is held within the adZU system, but also connect external data sources into the big data store which sits underneath Minerva, and to provide a real 360 view of the performance of marketing activity and what's going on within the network. So by way of example, we'll start off with Telstra and some of their dashboards. So the user can come into the system and choose the dashboard that they want to view. So this is a general local area marketing report for Telstra users in Australia. And you can see there are a series of report cards which have been generated which show different parts of information. So show how much spend has been made by each state within Australia, how much of the co-op budget has been spent, how much is remaining. We can see the most popular templates and media formats that are being used within this network, so we know which templates to do more or less of. We can then switch view into the co-op, so this is the budgeting dashboard. And here we can see spend levels. We can drill into it and find more detail of spend levels on a month-by-month basis. We can see how much spend budget is remaining. And we're able to use those filters on the right-hand side to drill into this, to look at it for a particular region or a particular state or an individual retailer. Here we're looking at spend by media type, so we can see where the greatest investment is going. And we can also see how much activity is planned to be executed by media type and also by sales category within the retailer. So that shows us a kind of overview of the activity that's running. The next demonstration, or the next video we'll look at, is for Domino's. Now this is looking at data in a slightly different way. This is looking at which offers, so which content is being used most within Domino's marketing. So really what we're looking for here are opportunities to do better marketing, so we can see which offers are being used the most, but also which offers are most effective. So there's a report here which shows us the offers which are driving the highest click-through rates, but or which are rarely used, or which other offers are used all the time but are not so effective. And then we can start to see performance statistics of how our marketing is performing, in this instance on a day-by-day basis. We can see what the national level is, and we're acting on behalf of a particular store. We can see how their email performance compares with the national performance. So this gives the end user some insights as to whether they're ahead of the pack or whether they've got work to do to improve their performance. At any point we can filter. We can look at a specific date range, or we can filter this out to look at an individual store. There's a report at the bottom here which shows us which subject lines work best for email, so we can refine that. Or we're able to look at an individual franchisee's performance to see some statistics of how they're doing. And this view here is really a view of usage of the system. So we can see on a week-by-week basis how many transactions are going. We can see how many people are logging into the system. We can see who our most active users are, so in terms of activities that they've created and the number of times that they've logged in. And we can also see who's not using the system, so people who we may need to encourage to participate a little bit more in our programs. And then switching back to Telstra, we can look at some more of the reports that they've been able to generate. So this is their overall high-level report, which shows investment, media mix usage, spend information again. And this is particularly used by brand owners and marketing teams in the head office, so they can look at their category of activity and see whether they're on target for it, and if there's an anomaly in the data, then they're able to drill into it to find more information and to generate the reports that they're looking for. It's quite a simple process to add new reports to this. We can generate new reports from the data. We can publish new dashboards. We can control which users are able to see which dashboard, so we can make sure each user is getting the information that they need. And then on the right-hand side, we're able to filter down our reports. So if we're only interested in looking at one particular area of the business, we're able to exclude all the other data to just show, for example, in this instance, consumer bundles. So what's the performance of those in terms of budget or in terms of content usage or material usage or media mix? So the marketing manager who looks after consumer bundles can find out all the information that they're looking for and see that the press is their predominant media type and compare that with other media channels, for example. This report here, the top materials, is showing which marketing templates are the most used within Telstra. And this is useful because it can tell the agency which creative they should use and which creative they should cease producing because it's not really being popular. There's a lot of data there, so the user is able to download that data as an Excel report. They're also able to download it as the charts and stick that directly into their PowerPoint presentations. But here they can now really drill into the information to see how many times a particular press ad or press template has been used. And we've been able to use this to reduce the amount of creative that they need to produce. They can look at that and then start to filter it by the geographical structure of Telstra, so looking at the region, so concentrating on New South Wales and concentrating on the Sydney stores in particular. So it really helps them to explore exactly, and what's happening within their network and have full transparency over how they're performing. In this final section on reporting, I want to look at how the reporting tools can be used to show to users, both at a local and central level, how their campaigns are performing. So the navigation process is the same. You navigate to a dashboard, but in this instance, we're looking at data which has come from an external source, namely Facebook. So this is showing to the user what is the performance of all the Facebook campaigns that are running for Telstra over a particular period. And we're measuring performance here in terms of number of impressions, number of clicks. We're also looking at spend information as well. And so the user can see, whether Facebook is working for us or not. They can see how much it's costing on a cost per click basis month by month, so we can see if there's difference in the level of performance. And on the left-hand side, we can see the performance of individual campaigns that are running. Similar to before, we can drill into this. We can look at it for a particular region to see how their Facebook campaigns are performing. And then once we get the view that we're looking for, the data that we're looking for, we can download that as an image file, as a PNG, which can then be inserted straight into a presentation and circulated around the business. Or, as before, we can take that information as an Excel document to perform further analysis on the data that we've got here. We're able to bring in really any external data sources into the system, so add performance data or other marketing information, and organize that and surface that up as dashboards to instruct the users about how their marketing is performing. Within this section, we're going to look at the budget management functionality within adZU. It's a common requirement of our clients to ask us to help them by controlling how budgets are created, how they're distributed, how they're used by their retailers, and how they're reported back to the central organisation. And this includes the use of co-op funds where the brand owner will part fund some of the local marketing activity. Over the years, we've developed quite a sophisticated set of budgeting functionalities within adZU, some of which we'll give you a quick overview here. So in the first instance, we're going to look at Nissan Spain, and we're going to look at how they begin to start the process of setting up a budget by retailer. So here we're looking at one individual retailer, and we can see that they've set a budget per month, which is to be spent on new car activity. So this is what they're planning to spend by month, or what the budgeted figure is. Then when they drill into the marketing plan, on the right-hand side, we can see the inversion, which is their budgeted number, so 39,000. We can see what their planned number is, which is 41,000, and we can see what they've actually spent, which is 38,000. So we can see they plan to do more than budget, but they've only actually executed in line with their budget. And then there's a secondary page, which is a dashboard page, which allows them to view a summary of how much budget they plan to spend, and then how much of it they've actually spent by month or by quarter, which is then broken out by the particular product types. They're also able to compare their budget spend, for example, by the media mix, compared with other retailers within their group. And then they have a widget which summarizes their budget position. And then the top right-hand side, they have task reminders, which tell them if they plan to execute a particular piece of activity but hadn't completed that this is something which they need to follow up. The demo that you've just seen using Nissan focused on budgeting in terms of the process of setting a budget, planning how to use that budget, and tracking how, and where that budget has been used. In this demo, we're going to look at the other end of the process of the budget management functionality within adZU, but really looking at how we process some of the invoices and the payments and apply co-op support to retailers within the system. So here we switched into Telstra, and we can drop into the My Budgets page on the application. And this is going to allow us to see budget usage for a group of retailers. So we can choose by region and by area and by budget type and by period, and we can display the budgets for the stores, any of the stores that fit within that category. And then when we drill into a store, we can see that, like a bank account, their actual budget situation, how much they spent, how much they got remaining, and look at the individual transactions that they spent that on, and even view the invoices that were part of that transaction, so that we can make sure that they spent it on something which was authorized. The local users can use this screen to upload proof of engagement, which is important for many clients for co-op spend, and that's how we guarantee that retailers are using budget for appropriate means. It's also possible for the admin users to approve this before they execute it. So in this final section of this demonstration, and thank you for your time and patience in going through all these features, we're going to create a quick tour around the administration section of the site. So this is the part of the application which is used by code, by the head office clients, and by their agencies to really to run the system and to provide the services to the end users. So this is what the admin site looks like. There's lots of powerful function in here. So the first is how we manage transactions. So this shows all the activity which is running for a particular client. We can see the press ads. We can drill into these and see where it's running, the media. We can look at the creative, and this is what the agency will use to approve a transaction. So once the retailer has generated their preview of it, an alert is sent to the agency to review and approve it before the ad is actually sent to media for the final time. This is also where we maintain data within the system. So here we can look at the product data set. We're looking at Nissan here, so we can see information on the Micra and the particular versions of the Micra that exist, including the engines. And this is where we maintain information on, for example, emissions copy, so we can make sure that every ad is produced is legally correct and has got the right offers within it. We maintain media information within the system. So this supports a global publication database. So here we're looking at newspapers, and we can see specification information on that newspaper, sizes. We can see publication dates. We can see how they prefer to receive content from the application. And it's also where we maintain the marketing templates and the marketing assets which sit within the system. So this is a list of the templates which have been uploaded by the agency into the system. And here we can see the list of assets, the type of assets. And if we click into images, we can see all the images which have been loaded in. And these are the images which can be used within the marketing materials. This includes product images and links and so on within the system. So that's it for the adZU demo. Thank you very much for the time that you've given to this. I hope you found it useful. I hope it gave you the right amount of information so you've got a better understanding of the system and the power of it without overloading you with too much information. Of course, if you had questions, please feel free to reach out to any of the team within Code, and we'll happily give you more information about how the system works. One final point that I'll make is this is a demonstration of the system at a particular point in time, and so is obviously immediately out of date. The application is being developed all the time. There are a whole bunch of features which are in the pipeline, so please keep close to the people in Code who can give you updates on the latest things that we're building within the adZU. Thanks very much.